What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on NVIDIA stock.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed, born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And in today's video, first of all, I will show you where we are on the price chart and how we get there. Then we'll continue with the fundamental news and I will show you that right now NVIDIA is not the best choice to put your money in. And at the end of this video I will share my thoughts and my technical analysis. And I will show you what should we expect next. So let's start with the price chart. I made my previous video right here at this top, and I've told you that because of its price action and because of its recent movement to the upside, that from October 2022 till present day it gained about 157%. And since 2023, since the beginning of this year, this asset gained about 94% to its current price. And right here at this point I've told you that we have a lot of uncertainty based on the price action. We have several candles that are not so bullish, they are undecisive candles pretty much. And my main assumption was that we should go lower. And in worst case scenario from the bull standpoint, we shouldn't break this previous stop that was set on March 29th, 2022. And definitely right now we are hovering almost exactly at the same spot when we were previously, but we have this consolidation phase that didn't break this range at $290 mark. And I still stand on my position that we have to be very cautious, but everything I will show you in my technical analysis. So let's continue with the fundamental news. What are the latest news that might be the driver of this asset? If you type in Google search bar NVIDIA stock and switch to news tab folder, you will find a lot of news that NVIDIA is outperforming the market, that it will hit much higher targets and so on and so forth. But when you can see this type of sentiment, definitely you should be extremely cautious. And let me show you that, for example, this article that was published just yesterday on Seeking Alpha is extremely bullish on NVIDIA. And it says, can NVIDIA stock reach $300 in 2023? Yes, consider generative AI growth potential. And let me go to the summary. NVIDIA's corporation's share price has been going up recently, as the rise of generative AI should have a positive impact on its growth prospects for the short term and long term. I see NVIDIA shares rising above $300, considering that NVIDIA is well positioned to leverage on generative AI growth opportunities, and the implied 1.5 times PEG ratio is reasonable. My buy rating for NVIDIA remains unchanged. NVIDIA still offers a decent upside at its current price, and the stock is a long-term play on AI. And definitely when you can see this type of prediction that it is a long-term play and it remains still bullish, I have to say that I don't believe in these forecasts. And let me show you why I think so. If we take a look on the consensus analyst price target on, for example, marketbeat.com website, you can see that it is lower than the current price. It is at $261.67. That is 3.22% lower than its current price range. And the recent filings that were made right after I made my previous video is these three companies, and all of them boosted the price target and set buy and outperform ratings, with the price target from $300 all the way up to $320 mark. And despite of this quite decent increase in price target for the latest filings, as you can see, we still have this consensus analyst price target slightly below the current range. This means we have to be cautious, because the closer the actual price of the underlying asset to this range, or when it outperforms it, definitely we should be very cautious, because we exceeded the well-balanced level for this asset. On top of that, let me show you this list of institutional investors. We are on fintel.io, and a lot of people, a lot of retail investors should be very cautious with this information, because if you take a look in general, we can see a lot of green rows that indicate that these companies opened completely new position recently on April the 6th, for example. But you have to keep in mind that this is only the filing date, it is not the execution date of this deal, and the execution date was made at least 45 days prior the filing date. This means 45 days prior the current price day. The current day is, let me show it to you, is somewhere here at the ranges of about $200 mark. And from this point, the price of this asset went higher for more than 21%. Definitely it is quite a bullish setup for these companies, but it is not the sign that you have to enter your position right here. So let me show you another evidence that probably we have to see the cool down of this stock. If we switch to financials on tradingview.com website, you can see that in general their balance sheet is quite healthy. They can cover more than twice their liabilities with their total assets. But in general, in Q4 and Q3 2022, they lowered their total assets compared to the previous year, the same quarters in previous year. On top of that, if we take a look right here, their price to earnings ratio and price to sales ratio went higher dramatically since Q3 2022. As you can see right here, in Q3 2022, PE ratio was 58.85. In Q4 2022, it was 116.95, and the current PE ratio is extremely high at 154.36. This means we have to see the cool down, and definitely this cool down might happen in upcoming weeks and even months. So, and let's continue with the technical analysis, but before we dive deep right here, please subscribe to my channel, hit notification bell and hit the like button. This helps me a lot. So guys, what should we expect next? I have to say that indicators for this asset right now is pretty much neutral, and we had, since I made my previous video, we had this bearish divergence. It is not the strongest one because these tops, let me show you right here, that these tops are not so high above the border of the neutral territory and the overbought territory. And definitely it is not the strongest pattern. This means it is pretty much unloaded, but we still have the chance to go lower if it breaks this previous bottom and this one. And if it happens, definitely we will confirm the at least medium-term trend reversal, and we will confirm the medium-term downtrend. So, and where we might land if it is the highest point. If my assumption is correct, and let me show you this price action in details. If my assumption is correct and we have we formed two impulsive waves out of three, and it is the first, second, third, and this is the top of our third wave. In this case, we have to pull the Fibonacci retracement tool from its lowest point to its highest point. But first of all, let me delete this unnecessary tool, and let me show you this. I pull the Fibonacci retracement tool from the bottom to the top with the assumption that we complete the entire structure of the third wave, and the levels where we might land are following. As you can see, these levels are pretty much the same as these yellow lines, and this is the ranges of support that I marked previously, and there are $226.14, $209.66, and the golden pocket range, the range in between 188.72 and $193.19. And these three ranges, in my opinion, might be the best ranges for you if you want to invest in this asset for the long term. When and if it hit these ranges, definitely you can accumulate your position for the long-term perspective. And in this case, these price targets, the latest price targets, will be again valuable for 100%, because we will have about from, let me show it to you, from 17 all the way up to 30% cool down for this asset in a medium-term perspective. And when and if this asset hit these ranges, definitely you can start to accumulate your position by laddering your buys down, because nobody knows when will be the trend reversal, and you have to be very cautious even if you invest in this type of quite promising company. And I have to say that if this assumption is correct, we still have an opportunity to hit higher target. And in my opinion, the top of our fifth wave might be a confluence with this previous all-time high. And depending on the entry point, we might have in worst case scenario up to 52% of potential profit, all the way up to 81% of potential profit if this asset will have a trend reversal in the golden pocket range. So definitely the risks of your entering position right here is extremely high. That's why you have to wait for the cool down. But the upside potential is very lucrative, and the patience is the key in the investing in NVIDIA stock. So I think from the technical standpoint, that's it for now. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel with notification bell. And see you guys and girls next time. Bye.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad. I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad. Doing no cap. Only God wants you.